So you know those people that seem to have their life all figured out and they go to the gym 4 times a week and eat predominantly healthy meals? Yeah, I've never been one of them. In fact, I'm in awe of such people. This is me, and I've often tried to get into exercise, but just I've never been able to. And in spite of the "but you're already skinny" side comments, I knew better. I understood the importance of moving my body daily, but I just could never really get into full beast mode exercise. And so I decided to start with the most basic thing: stretching. I was going to go 2 consistent weeks, no takesies, backsies, come rain, come shine, come does this even matter? And so I began, one YouTube video after the other. I began to document my experience. This helped me to stay accountable, but since I also wasn't sure what to expect, I definitely didn't see the results coming. Hi, good morning. So I'm starting a stretching exercise type of challenge today. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. I think I really need it now. I'm going to start with one that I saved that has been saved in my watch later playlist on YouTube for months now, and the one I downloaded is supposed to be done in bed, so that will remove the resistance of having to get up. The time is 7:30 now. I hope that this helps. Curious to see if it will make any difference. So you know how they say the first step is usually the hardest? Well, not really in this case. Starting off wasn't too difficult, but I think this was because it was something I actually desperately needed and was very curious about. So day 1 went pretty smoothly, as did day 2, 3, well, until 6. This is day 5 or 6, I think. I'm not sure. I just feel super tired this morning because I've been up since like 1 a.m. I was able to go back to bed by 5, and this is now 7:30. There's this rooster that now crows, and it's a pretty quiet neighborhood, so it's just very loud, and I'm such a light sleeper that even the slightest sound will wake me. It crows at odd times of the day. It's just so weird. But we are committed to this. I feel super tired, but I feel like maybe this is even the best time to do these exercises. And maybe this is the biggest test. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, let's get up. Okay. Now, this was the moment I actually began to see the results more clearly. It honestly felt like magic how stretching suddenly made me feel more awake. I'm not even joking. But I also think something that helped is this concept that James Clear talked about in his book, Atomic Habits, where he said something about habit coupling. So it's basically when you take one habits that you already do and couple it with a new one you're trying to start. And so I started to lay my bed immediately after stretching, because laying my bed is something I do every time I get up. It's become reflex, you know. And while a freshly laid bed seems tempting to hop back into, it also was a signaling to my brain like, okay, yeah, it's time to get up and start your day. The beautiful thing about habits is that they can always be formed and broken. It's almost like a candy store, just one that you have to pay through the nose for. It takes work and discipline and a strong willpower. And I constantly had to ask myself, what is even my motivation? Especially because I had to get up earlier to get the stretches in, and I am not a morning person. But even though I'm a naturally driven person, I discovered that this wasn't enough. So something that really helped was beginning to see how much of a significance it really made in my day. Because at some point it stops being about keeping streaks or knowing that I would like to make a video about it if I was successful. I really needed a stronger why, and the results spoke for itself. Before I knew it, 2 weeks were up. By this time, I had memorized the routine and even started incorporating some of my own. But apart from somehow helping me stay awake more through the day and not feeling like I needed to take naps often, there's the more important question. Did it make me more flexible? Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I've always sort of kind of been flexible, but even that goes away after a while if you don't use it. But I mean, it definitely helped because I could finally do this again, which I had learned from the Nickelodeon show Figure It Out when I was much younger. But I grew older and my back became stiff. So let's just say I feel like I'm 11 again. Now, while I've only done this for a short while, it's been great so far. I've actually kept it up. I'm currently on about the 3rd, going into the 4th week now. And at this point, I've started to miss a day or two, but I could almost swear that I notice the days where I miss it. I especially like that this is light enough to kind of get the blood flowing, but also not too difficult to where I just feel like I've been hit with a truck, which kind of defeats the purpose because I'm just going to get back into my bed and take a nap. It's truly now one of the best part of my morning routine, although I have started to incorporate some other things that I might share later. But it's been overall great for my physical and mental well-being. It's my way of easing into full-blown exercises. Someday, I just don't currently have the mental bandwidth for that. I'm just not ready, but I think that I might get into it eventually, just to stay fit. So, would you ever try this, or have you, or are you a full-blown gym head? What advice would you have for some of us? I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments. All right, I will see you all soon.